This is our Antigone study guide. I'm Cameron Arsenian,
I'm Thomas Barker.
and we're going to get started with the storyboard.
So basically, the story starts out, Antigone and Ismene are talking outside. Creon just became king as their two brothers just fought to death, just bare hand brawled, killed each other. They're left dead on the floor, and then Creon is the next in line, so he gets to step in, and he declares that Polynices does not get a proper burial, and he's left for the dogs and vultures to be torn apart. And Antigone is not about that. She stands with her principles and respects her family more than the law, and is going to go against Creon's decree. And Ismene tries to get Antigone to not do it. She calls her a maniac, but Antigone just asks for her blessing a little bit, and Antigone says, "I'm going to do it anyway. I'm not about leaving him out like that." So yeah.
And so Creon is so determined that nobody will bury his body that he orders men to guard Polynices' body and just watch it rot. And then the guards come back and the body is already buried. And so they send a messenger to Creon, and Creon is not happy about it. He says that if they don't find who did it, then the guard will die. And the guard says, "I don't know if I'm coming back here. You might not ever see me again."
Yeah.
And then they go back and dust off the dirt that Antigone put over him. And then Antigone comes back to finish the job, and they catch her and take her to Creon.
And then Creon's kind of like blown away, and he's like, "No way you're bringing my son's like future wifey over to me," saying like she's bearing Polynices. But she admits to it, and then Creon and Antigone argue, and Antigone's reasoning is that the actions of one's lives in their present life while they're alive doesn't determine whether they get a burial. They deserve a proper burial no matter what. And Creon can't defy the laws that are unwritten laws by gods. Like, these are the gods' decrees. People deserve a good burial just because Creon doesn't approve of his life. And she thinks that he can't take that away from him. But then Creon says that Eteocles, his brother, who fought for Thebes and basically gave Creon the ruling role, even though he died, was dishonored by giving his brother Polynices, the person he was fighting against, a proper burial, and that his word is absolute because he's a king and he's a ruler, and he would never be defiled by a woman. Oh my God. Which is
Well, that's all going on. Ismene hears what happens, and she comes in and actually tries to front like she helped bury it and take half the responsibility. So she comes in, but Antigone does not want that. She is not happy about it. She's actually angry that Ismene was unwilling to help her earlier and now wants to step in. It's kind of like a fake. Antigone sees it as like a fake action, and she's kind of salty and talks nastily to Ismene. And so Creon doesn't really know what to do with this and just throws them both in jail for now. And then Haman comes in to talk with Creon. Haman is Antigone's wife,
Creon's son.
And Creon's son. And so Haman comes in and talks to him a little bit, and says that the people feel more for Antigone and think that her decision was justified, and they understand why he deserves a proper burial, and they're actually taking her side. But Creon still does not listen to him at all. He is the king, and he has made this decree, so that is the law, and nobody is going to disrespect him. And so he attacks Haman a little bit and goes after him, and then Haman leaves.
Yeah, Haman's like, "Goodbye, Pops. You are being a crazy man." So then Tiresias, the blind man that sees all and has a little boy that walks him in that can actually see, because he's actually blind, comes in and tells of this like rustling in the supernatural forces, and that Creon is about to make a big mistake, and the gods are really mad at him, and he's really like gonna really have something coming to him if he doesn't stop what he's doing. And after the chorus leaves, he advises Creon to the chorus advises Creon to stick with what he says, because he's never really been wrong. So, but Creon's kind of stubborn, so we'll see where that takes him.
So after the whole chorus kind of gets on him and talks about how he has never been wrong about a prophecy before, and he thinks back up to the situation with his dad Oedipus, or was his dad or his his grandpa?
I don't really know.
Some relationship.
Yeah.
But Oedipus didn't listen to the Tiresias, and his whole life got screwed over, and so he eventually is kind of so freaked out that he says that he will give Polynices a proper burial and set Antigone free. But just as he decides to do that, a messenger comes rushing into the hall with everybody and informs Creon that both Haman and Antigone are dead. He says that Haman went up to the chamber where Antigone was kept, and rather than starve to death, Antigone chose to hang herself and take her own life. And when Haman went up to talk to Antigone, he saw this, and at first was so mad at his dad and cursed him and wanted to kill him, but then he took his own sword and killed himself instead.
Yeah, so then when Eurydice, sorry, I don't really know how to say that, but that's Creon's wife, the queen, and she hears this of her son dying, and so distraught, she leaves without saying a word. And then after going to check on her, a messenger comes back again and says that she took her own life because she was so sad that her son died. But now,
both sons and her daughter now,
all gonzo. Creon, only dude left besides his meanie. I mean, I don't know why he would want to hang out with his meanie anymore, because she's kind of a liar. But he's so distraught that he lost all of his family members that he can't even get himself to walk. He is so down that his own strength of his own legs are just crippled. He is so sad. Which was basically the fate that Antigone was living. She lost everyone too, and she was trying to do what she wanted, what she thought was right. And he just has to be ordered to be carried away, because he can't even walk away from his own problems.
And that's the last we hear in the story.
Yeah.